Hello and welcome to this issue of Motive Garage, proudly presented by Just Car Insurance. Now this issue we're doing something new and different for us. We're going to be building and reviewing a video game console racing simulator. Now if you're into cars and you're into video games, there's a fair chance that, well, probably like video games with cars in them. Now I'm no avid gamer. I don't do any online leagues or battle it out online until the wee hours of the morning. However, I don't mind the occasional game of Call of Duty or a session on Gran Turismo. Now let's face it, a lot of these modern video games are actually pretty good practice for racing when you're not getting much seat time. If the GT Academy hasn't proven that, I guess nothing will. Now playing with a hand controller gets pretty boring, and when I switched to a steering wheel I did enjoy the driving a lot more. However, having it mounted to your table isn't exactly optimum, so I've decided to step things up and build a complete simulator. Now I'm sure there's some pretty fancy things out there you can build yourself. However, like most people, I just wanted to buy it off the shelf, put it together and start playing. So let's take a look at what we got. So I bought almost everything you can see here on eBay, and it really wasn't all that expensive. Now firstly I had to choose what simulator frame to buy, and this Next Level Racing GT Pro appeared to be the highest amount of quality versus the lowest price. There was some cheaper ones out there, but I was a little bit skeptical. These have had good reviews in magazines and online, so I thought I'd give this one a shot. $550 delivered is what I paid for it, which I think is pretty good value because it does include the seat. Now when it came to a steering wheel, I went with Logitech, as I used to have one of the GT ones on PlayStation 3. I went for the G29 with the gear lever as well, so you can get the full experience, and it comes with a clutch. Got this on eBay, $450 including the gear lever. I wanted to make the whole thing mobile, so I've actually bought a mobile TV holder. That was $60 on eBay. Sound is very important, I think, in video games if you want to have a simulator. So this Philips soundbar with subwoofer, under $200, and a Sonic 40-inch LED LCD TV, $400 from JB Hi-Fi. So all up, not too bad at all. So here it is, the Next Level Racing GT Pro, all assembled together with the Logitech steering wheel, gear lever and pedals. This is stage 1 complete. Some of you, this might be as much as you need to know. What's it like? Not too bad for the money, to be honest. In terms of assembly, it was relatively straightforward. Instructions were kind of probably an 8 out of 10 in terms of how to follow them. Probably one thing they really should have made clear in those instructions is don't tighten anything until the end, because you really don't know exactly where you want everything until you've pretty much got all of it together, which makes it a little clumsy assembling it, but as long as you've got the patience to do that, it's pretty good. In terms of its fit, 7 out of 10 I would say. These support bars to get this straight on the right angle in my kit just weren't exactly right. Took a bit of pushing and shoving and heaving to kind of get it to line up completely. Even at the very end, a little bit of twisting to try and get everything straight and lined up. The gear lever thing, yeah, I got it pretty much where I wanted it. I personally think that the gear lever needs to be higher to match the seat, or the seat needs to be lower to feel right overall. Pedals went on pretty easily. I like how you can just pretty much bolt the pedals, bolt the gear lever, bolt the steering wheel up. They've already got the correct holes for this steering wheel kit. I love that. It means no drilling, no mucking around. You actually get to bolt them on, not use the factory clamp, so they're not going anywhere. So it's pretty good. The paddles on this, 1,000 times better than the little push buttons on the old Logitech that I had. Steering wheel feels pretty good, like in terms of the quasi leather. The gear lever feels pretty good. I'm a bit disturbed that it's a H pattern, because what if the car I'm driving is a sequential? But then again, you got paddle shift. Pedals feel really good, quite springy. The brake pedal is a lot harder than the other two, which kind of makes it feel more realistic. So the throttle feels one way, the clutch feels another, and the brake pedal feels different. It has a little bit less travel and stiffens up. These are force feedback steering wheels, so once we start playing, I'll know more about what it's like. But in terms of its feel so far, yeah, pretty good. I would say that you're achieving probably 90% of the result that you want for probably less than 50% of the price of some of the more expensive stuff. So value for money, very good, but not quite perfect in the overall scheme of things, but very happy. Okay, everything is assembled together, working, calibrated the steering wheel. I've got a PlayStation 4 hooked up to this thing. You can also hook up a PlayStation 3. Played Gran Turismo for ages, but always wanted to try the game Project Cars, so I thought I'd give that a go first. Now, I tried playing it with a hand controller and pretty much couldn't complete a lap. It's a pretty wild racing simulator from what I've seen and what people have told me. Now I'm going to try it using the actual simulator setup and see if that makes any difference in terms of actually trying to be able to drive these things properly. So here we go. I'm in a Pagani Zonda, and I'll tell you what, straight away, having a steering wheel means I can actually drive the thing, because with a hand controller it was almost impossible. The first thing that you do as soon as you use one of these simulators is, I don't know, you feel much more in the mood. You really do actually feel like you're trying to hit the track. Now, if you're watching this, I'm sure you've played some type of simulator or driven your car fast or whatever, so you know what it's like. With the simulator set up, it's actually really fun to drive. I'm actually pretty surprised at how realistic Project Cars really is when you turn all the driving aids off. These things are difficult to drive, but a lot of fun as well.